Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
Hello there. We have Gary here today. We're going to answer some questions,
Good.
Gary. Let's get right to it. We have a Facebook question that has come in. What is negligent entrustment?
Well, it's a legal term for a theory that people are sometimes responsible for the negligence of putting people in a place where they might cause damage. So that's not a very good definition, but don't give a monkey a gun, right? You know, so we see this when we see that somebody's given a car generally over to someone who they know may be impaired, or they have a bad driving record, or they've had lots of wrecks, or anyway, all these kind of things where you knew or should have known. Kind of comes back to that theory all the time. Did I know or should have known this was going to be a possible problem for others? So although I don't necessarily cause the wreck or cause the problem, I created the problem by giving this vehicle, this instrument of destruction, you know, to somebody who really isn't qualified to have it. So we see it in trucking company wrecks, we see it a lot of times in corporate situations, and then even in, like I say, the situation where maybe you give the keys to somebody who's also drunk. So very good. It's a way that a third party might be responsible for the negligence of another.
Yeah, interesting.
Thanks.
Now, we have a man on the street question. Let's roll that and see what we got.
Hi Gary, why aren't semi-trucks legally required to have automatic braking systems in the U.S. like in other countries?
Interesting.
Well, interesting question. There's a lot of regulations for trucking. The federal motor carrier safety regulations address a lot of kind of personal issues, like driver service, how much a person can drive without rest and those kind of things. We also regulate safety devices on trucking, so it's not unheard of to have requirements of certain braking systems, checking, inspections, those kind of things, and there's violations of that generally with most collisions. But I think this technology maybe hasn't quite made it to that point. I know we have it on personal cars, we have these automatic braking things and these cruise control things. It's pretty amazing what's on new cars these days, really. They don't let you even get out of the lane. You know? But it hadn't gotten there yet for trucking because of the weight, and the braking systems are so complicated. So I suspect it'll come before we start seeing driverless trucks, you know, I mean, in a big way. We hear about that, but there's a long way to go for these things.
There sure are. There sure are. Thank you for the great questions we've had today. We'd like to, let you know that we'd love to have more questions. You contact Gary on Facebook, or you can email us legalbreak@WTVM.com. We're here every single week answering great questions like that. Thank you so much for joining us today, Gary, and we'll see you on the very next Legal Break.
Thanks.